Today we are going to study about polynomials. If you want to know clearly about what exactly are polynomials, then you are in need of some basic concepts. Without these concepts, you are not able to follow deeply what are polynomials. So, first of all, let us know and study about the basic concepts. Our first basic concept, what are variables? What is our first concept? Our first concept is, what are variables? To know about the variable, in algebra or geometry, in mathematics, for some unknown quantities, what I told, in algebra, for some unknown quantities, for some unknown quantities. What is meant by unknown quantities? We use alphabets. In algebra, variables means in algebra, for some unknown quantities, we use some alphabets. Where and how? For example, let we have a coin box. For example, suppose we have a coin box like this, and what in this coin box, suppose previously you have some coins, okay, and today suppose you have added 3 coins, and after breaking the coin box, you found that there are in all 12 coins are there. Now the question is, how can you convert this mathematical situation into mathematical form? What was our example? We have a coin box. There are previously some coins in the coin box. Today you have added 3 coins in the coin box. Now you have to convert or write this situation in mathematical form. How will you write it? We will write it as, suppose you were having X coins in the coin box previously. Now today you have added 3 coins in the coin box, and after breaking the coin box, you found that there are 12 coins. Okay, then if you solve this equation, then we get x is equal to 12 minus 3. We get x is equal to 9. Okay, in this way, here if you see, for unknown quantities, how many coins were there in the coin box, we were not aware of that. For that unknown quantity, you use the variable x. So such type of alphabets, they are used in algebra for unknown quantities. They are called as variables. We call them as variables. Do you know what is the actual meaning of the word variable? The variable means Dictionary meaning of the word variable is changing. What is changing over here? Actually, changing means here previously some coins were there, of which value we got 9. But in any other situation, you can get the value of x, not always 9, but you can in any other situation, when you will convert it into mathematical form, then you get sometimes the value of x as 2, you can get 3, you can get -5, you can get any real number, the value of x as any real number. That's the value of x can change as per the situation we are having. That's why in algebra we call it as variables. This was the concept of variable. Now let's study about our second concept, understanding what exactly are polynomials. Now, it is meant by algebraic expressions. For that, see, in case of the variables, we can use, generally, we use x, y, and z. These alphabets we use. Now, what is meant by algebraic expressions? For that, let us take some examples. Let we have the examples as, say, 2x. Second example, we have, suppose, 3x plus 2y. And one more example, we will take it as 3x square plus 2x minus 7. Now, what we want to study? Algebraic expression. To which forms or the examples in algebra we call it as algebraic expressions. This we are going to study. Now, I have given some examples. If you observe these examples clearly, can you say what are algebraic expressions? Can you define what will be the meaning of algebraic expressions? For that, observe these examples carefully. From these examples, you can guess the meaning of algebraic expressions. Do you know what you can guess? If you completely observe these examples, the forms given to you, then here you can see we are able to see some numbers are there. Yes, some numbers are here, 2, 3, 2, 7, some numbers you are able to see. And we are also able to see some variables are there. But now the question is this much information is sufficient for you so that you can recognize that yes, it is the algebraic expression? Is this information sufficient for you to understand that these are the algebraic expressions? I think no. For that, let us take another example. For example, suppose I am having another example as, for example, 3x plus 2y is equal to 7. Now, see both examples. Is it algebraic expression? Here also we are able to see numbers are there, as well as variables are also there. In the first examples, we are able to see numbers, variables, and these numbers and variables, in between them, they may be in addition with each other, just like here plus sign is there, here plus sign is there, here minus sign is there. It means if we are going to consider these as algebraic expressions, then they include numbers, variables, and these numbers and variables, they may be in addition with each other or maybe in subtraction with each other. Here also you see numbers are there, variables are there, as well as they are in addition with each other. But can we call it as algebraic expression? No, this is not an algebraic expression. Then what is this? We call it as equation. This is not an algebraic expression, but we call it as equation. Now, what is the difference between algebraic expression and equation? Here, in equation, we are going to see the extra equal to sign is there. Numbers and variables, as well as they are in addition or subtraction with each other. These conditions, all conditions are applicable in equation, but there is extra equal to sign. And because of this equal to sign, there are two sides. One is right hand side and other is left hand side. And in between these two sides, equal to sign is there. This equal to sign says whatever may I am having to right hand side and left hand side, the quantity of both is equal. Thus, you can differentiate between what exactly are algebraic expressions and what are the equations. What are algebraic expressions? Now you can tell in algebraic expressions there is no equal to sign. Is there equal to sign in algebraic expression? No. Numbers, variables are there, but equal to sign is not. And in equation, equal to sign is always present. Thus, we can differentiate exactly between algebraic expressions and equations. Now, from hence, you can clearly understand and differentiate between algebraic expressions and equation. Okay, now our next concept is terms. Here, in our third concept, we are going to study about terms of algebraic expressions. What is our article? Terms of algebraic expression. To know about what is meaning of the terms of algebraic expressions, let us take the examples so that we can clearly know about what is meant by terms of algebraic expressions. Again, we will take some examples. For example, suppose I am having 2x, 3x plus 2y, and suppose we have 3x square minus 2x plus 7. These are the three examples. Now, here we are going to study what is meant by terms of an algebraic expression. Now, we have already studied what is the meaning of the word variable. What exactly are algebraic expressions and equations? In algebraic expression, there is no equal to sign, and in equation there is equal to sign. Now, what is meant by terms of algebraic expressions? Now, the meaning of for that, if you want to know about the terms of the algebraic expression, I will give you one hint. If I will say that in example number 1, our first hint is there is one term. If you see example number 2, then I will say in example number 2 there are two terms, and in example number 3 I will say there are three terms. Now, from this hint, can you identify or can you say to whom I am going to call it as terms? Okay, you can guess something. Now, in the first example, let us see what exactly is the term. This much information, this much hint is not sufficient for you. In case of the terms, I am telling that in first example one term is there, in second example two terms are there, and in third example there are three terms. Let us clear the meaning of term. As I am going to call in the first example the total what you are able to see in the first term. In the first term, you are able to see one number is there and one variable is there. Okay. This total 2x I am going to call it as a one term. From this you can guess. Similarly, if you see in the second example, to whom I may be calling as a one term, I am telling here two terms are there. Then which is first and which is second? You can guess I may be calling the 2x as a one term and 2y as a another term. In between these two, plus sign is there. Okay, like that in third, 3x square is a one term, 2x is second term, and 7 is third term. I may be calling like this. Yet we are not fully aware of what is meant by term. Let us see. If you see the 2x, then one is number and one is variable. 2x means 2 multiplied by x. It means in between a number and variable there is multiplication sign. Here in 3x means 3 multiplied by x. After that there is plus sign, and then 2 into y is there. This 3x I am going to call it as one term. Then can you guess the meaning of algebraic term? What is meant by term of algebraic expressions? That in terms of algebraic expressions, in term, one term it contains a numbers and variables. And if in between numbers and variables, the relation in between them is only multiplication. To call it as a term, the relation between number and a given variables, it must be only multiplication. Here you see, in between 2 and x there is a relation of multiplication. In between 3 and x, here in the second example, the relation of multiplication is there. And this relation, it is over at the plus sign. So up to this we are going to call it as one term. And then after plus, second term starts. And likewise, in the third example, we have three terms that they are holding the relation of only multiplication. Then what you understood about what is meaning of term of an algebraic expression? The term, it contains numbers and variables, but in between number and variable, the relation must be equal to multiplication. Then only you can call it as term. Okay. Now, let us study about our last concept, exponents and coefficients. Let us take one example. For example, suppose I am having one example as 3x to the power 2, or we can say it as 3x square. Now, what is coefficient? Here, the number 3 we call it as coefficient. Coefficient. What you can guess from the word coefficient? The coefficient means the number which is directly in multiplication with the variable. The number which is directly in multiplication with the variable is called as coefficient. And what is mean by exponent? Here above, the power of x is 2, and this power only we will call it as exponent. Thus, there is no difference between a power and exponent. These concepts are very important. Okay? Now, let us revise what we have studied previously. Now, in the first concept, we have studied what are variables. What you will say about the variable? They are alphabets used in algebra for unknown quantities. Our second concept was algebraic expressions. What is meant by algebraic expression? Algebraic expressions, they contain numbers and variables, and they may be in addition or subtraction with each other, but their equal to sign is absent. In the algebraic expression, there is no equal to sign, whereas in equation there is equal to sign. This is the difference between algebraic expression and equation. Now, our third concept was term. What is meant by term? The term means when in between numbers and variables there is a relation of only multiplication, then we call it as a term. And our last concept was exponent. Exponent means, in example 3x square, the number which is in multiplication with the variable, we call it as coefficient, and the number which is at the power, we call it as exponent. we call it as exponent. Okay, thus we can differentiate between what is meant by coefficient and what is exponent. Thus, these are the four concepts we are needed to know completely about polynomials. Okay.